if I had to deal with somebody like you on an everyday basis, I'd be cheating. I'll be every day. It'd be like I wouldn't even come home. That song, Papa was a Rolling Stone. That would be my motto right there.
Hey guys, and welcome back for another video. So today we have two very special young ladies, and when I say special, I mean that really special. This one lady swears up and down that marriage does not benefit women, and yeah, let's go ahead and hear her reasoning behind that.
For a lot of women, it just simply comes down to they just want to be able to say they're married. They want to be able to say they're a Mrs. That's it. And I have heard a lot of women defensively talk about the benefits of being married, but honestly, unless that man is rich or unless he has some kind of job with some kind of extraordinary benefits, there is no benefit to you. What the fuck do you mean?
Okay, so to give a little context, there was someone, I guess, who asked her on TikTok, I need to know what it is, the end goal for all the women who put so much emphasis on a ring in marriage. You get that? And then what? So she's answering that question basically.
And some women want to have children, but they feel like they have to be married before they can have children because as a society, we tend to shame women who have kids with someone and they're not married to them, which is fucking weird. I stand by what I'm about to say because I know it's going to piss somebody off. Yes, there's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to be married and nothing wrong with wanting to have a wedding. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But if you're obsessed with it and you can't imagine yourself living without it and it depresses you that you don't have it yet, I don't know. I think in that situation, you might be getting married because you feel like you have to for whatever reason. I don't know. That's just my opinion that nobody asked for. But it's been proven time and time again that marriage does not benefit women. I mean, unless he's wealthy and y'all got a really good prenup or he's got some amazing benefits that you just want to take advantage of, there's no benefit mentally, emotionally, physically, or financially for the average regular woman for getting married. None. There are other legal things that you can do to be able to make medical decisions for your partner and to make sure that you are taken care of financially. And I've heard a lot of women say, well, I don't like my last name, so I couldn't wait to take his. Well, fucking pick a name and change it to that name. Why you gotta wait on a man to change your last name? But anyway, the only people that marriage seems to benefit are men. And I'm sure some idiot who's sleeping on an air mattress with dirty Walmart sheets is gonna try to argue everything I've said, but I'll just block him. But you get the point.
Wow. Yeah. What are your thoughts? I'll start with you.
All right. If she was just stressing overall, then maybe. But I mean, clearly there are benefits to being married. One, I'll be honest. I mean, I don't know too many. Most people, a benefit to being married is if you're a woman. Most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, if you had a decent guy, I'm not even gonna say a rich guy, he's gonna take care of everything. When I say everything, I know I don't mean everything, but I mean mortgage or rent, utility bills, water, lights, heck, putting gas in your car, maybe even the insurance, I'm not sure. But they're going to try to take care of, ideally, as much as you can. Some women that get married simply because they don't want to have to work anymore.
I was just going to say, in the traditional sense, if everything and everybody is playing their roles like in a traditional sense, the man is definitely going to take care of the majority of the bills, and the woman, if she has to work at all, will take care of kind of some of the more smaller bills or maybe just the grocery bill or something like that. But when it comes to this lady, she's making it seem like marriage doesn't benefit a woman at all. Now, the backstory is, without having to use a whole bunch of clips or like stalk her on her channel, she's a divorced woman who claims that her husband was I guess, abusive. And I don't know if she has any children or not, what actually led to their divorce, but apparently she enjoys being single and is probably a little bit bitter about men from that relationship.
Marriage is a partnership, okay? So it's about two people basically pulling their own weight. So it's like if you have somebody doing this financial aspect, then of course, I feel the other person should be maybe handling home a little bit more. But long story short, it's a compromise. I'll be honest. I was cooking and cleaning before I got married. I still cook and clean. I'm not gonna lie, maybe not to the extent of my wife, but I still cook and clean. And I was taking care of myself. Another thing, children. The whole reason people stress marriage with children is because then it's not one person trying to raise a child. I'm learning firsthand that a baby, can be awfully demanding. And it would just be really tiring if it's just on one person. One person has to work and still take care of their child. It's
In the household.
in the household, right? The government,
They're willing to financially help you, and they may even pay for like some level of childcare, but at the end of the night, you're going to be at home with those kids by yourself. And as a woman, that's not a good place to be in. And I've seen it happen to so many women. Like, they end up, a lot of black women, for instance, end up with like major mental health issues. And people say mainly it's because of the roles that have been reversed. The fact that most black women have to run a household, and it's not in their DNA. If you're a female, it's not in your DNA to have that level of responsibility. It's just not.
Now, I think she started off the video reading the question about the end game or whatnot. In my opinion, the end game is the whole family unit. That's ideally what most people get married for. Men get married for that monogamous relationship with that one woman, and for her, ideally, if you want kids, is for you to have children and y'all raise those children together.
Or just to have some level of companionship, because not everybody gets married for that. Some people get married past the age of having children, but it's still nice to have somebody in their lives, or to just travel, enjoy retirement with. So, yeah, I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but I can say that she's wrong when she says that marriage doesn't benefit women, because it absolutely does. And when you think about the tail end of it, the end game, in some senses, some people might say divorce, seeing as how half of the marriages don't end well. And I mean, if you go to family court, you're straight as a female, like as a male.
Saturday Night Live joke where they said most of the women aren't working, but how are they owning houses? And then they said, oh, they're marrying men, divorcing them, and getting half of their crap.
I mean, that could be it. But I will say, now that we're in 2023, a lot of women are successful. We have our own means of income. We have our own aspirations. A lot of us have our own businesses or just other opportunities in which we can generate income, and it doesn't have anything to do with our bodies all the time. Some women choose that, but a lot of us get money legitimately, and that's okay.
But you know what? I mean, I hate to say it. I mean, and this is just going by my observation. I'm going to leave statistics and all that. The more successful a woman is, in my honest opinion, like I said, from what I've observed, is like less likely that she'll actually have a marriage, a companion. I mean, it could be a multitude of things, but like I said, most successful women, I mean,
look at Hollywood. When they do get married, they don't last very long, most relationships. But that's also because both parties are very desirable people, and they have a lot of money. They can do a lot of traveling. They meet a lot of different people who are also very attractive and desirable and have money. So it's like the opportunities are probably endless, and I can understand why that sort of thing may happen. But there's another video that I wanted to take a little look-see, stroll on over to the weird side of YouTube, and I found myself over at the Cynthia G channel. Gosh. I just want to put it out there. I think Cynthia G is a self-hater. Like, she literally may pretend to be pro-black woman or something like that, but no, if you're talking about your male counterparts, honey, you hate blackness, number one, and number two, obviously white women make you very, very insecure. So let's go ahead and hear what she's got to say.
It's the pathology of the bandits they give birth to. And I know that I've been saying this quite a bit, and it's starting to sound like a broken record, but that's how concepts get rooted in your memory, is through repetition. So I'm going to say it again. One thing that black women fail to understand is how these bandits chase whiteness and want whiteness so badly, because whiteness can erase their blackness, that they will take whiteness no matter how it's packaged. So you have Miss Captain Crunch here seeking a black man on this show. But what I find interesting is why she wants a black man. Because of course, if you think about it, no woman who is not black in her right mind would seek black men as a mate. There's too many negative towards them. They don't have any societal power. They have the worst track record when it comes to relationships, no matter the race of the woman. They're the most non-committal. They carry the most STDs. They cheat the most. They're the most willing to walk out on their families. I mean, as black women, we know all the negatives of these bandits.
OMG. Is any of that even true? Like, without Googling any of that, like, would you say that that's true?
You know what? I mean, going by some of the statistics that I heard, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of what she's saying might actually be true. But this is me. It might be true, but if I had to deal with somebody like you on an everyday basis, oh, you best believe actually, I wouldn't even deal with you, but I'll be cheating. I'll be every day. It'll be like, I wouldn't even come home. That song, Papa Was a Rolling Stone, that would be my motto right there. So I can't full well 100% agree with her, but I have heard some things like that. But also what I've heard is black men are the most out of all the races of men who spend the most time with their children. So I mean, I know it sounds bad, but it also depends on what should I say, the guy you choose. And let's be honest, who's the one raising these black men? Who's the one kicking out the dads, or keeping the children away from the black men? Statistically, they say, again, like I said, I'm not 100% sure, but they say black women are amongst the highest race of single moms. It's a joint effort. The fact is, if women aren't letting guys go raw in their hoo-ha and giving birth to kids, then you wouldn't have to worry about men running off or whatnot. If you took time to actually have kids in marriage and not outside of marriage, it'll be less children growing up in a single parent household. I just like how she's taking all of the negative and focusing it on black men rather than focusing on the black community as a whole. I was once dating a girl and I was coming up behind her and she mentioned all black men ain't crap. And I'm like, I'm dating you, I'm treating you well, and that's how you do me? What? Because I don't want to pay your rent or something like that? I got my own rent to pay. Shoot. You struggling, I'm struggling. You want me to be rich and just pay everything at my own detriment? When does becoming an adult and being responsible and accountability take some type of place in your life?
Sometimes when it comes to like the black race at this point, I think black men and black women are like each own's worst freaking enemy.
But what the freak are you chasing after? Because that doesn't look like your real hair. You got all that freaking makeup on. I bet you if you took away that hair and all that makeup, you just have a bald woman that looked like she just got out of chemo or something like that.
Damn. There's a few more minutes here for the rest of this.
So no woman outside of the community who is within her right mind would have a black man as a preference, because they don't have anything to offer except that which they offer black women, which has been nothing. And we hear women of no color talking about largely how they get the same black man. They get the abuse, they get the lies, they get the cheating. So again, no woman in her right mind would really see black men as a preference. What this woman of no color, though, in this video is failing to tell you is that men of no color do not want her, they do not desire her. And when I show you the differences in the comments for men of no color versus black men, you're going to see a stark difference in standards, what men of no color see as desirable versus bandits taking anyone that is white just because she's white. Because that's really what it is. These women don't have a genuine interest in these bandits. They end up wanting these bandits because bandits are the only ones that will take them. Bandits are known for being the single group of men who have no problem and really take pride in picking up the undesirables from other people's communities, because that's how his self-hatred is set up.
Now, is that true? I think, you know what, here's just my opinion. I think when it comes to Cynthia G and the other group of black women that are the black male haters, I think in reality they're just the ones that pick the Tyrones and the Pookie and the Ray Rays, and that's why they end up with such a poor view. Because had they picked a good black man who, you know, has a career path and like pays his bills and owns property and invests and does what he's supposed to do by his wife and kids, like, you wouldn't.
No. See, here's the thing. Even if they pick a good man, you can have a good man, but you would scare him off. If I had to come home and deal with this mouth, this attitude, all of this, I would be out the door. The reason why she's saying that is because the Pookies and Ray Rays are the only ones willing to screw her. Why? Because they don't care.
She's literally sounding so jealous.
Now, one thing I can say, and I've said this on the last video, you know, a lot of us black men, I feel we're more accepting than most people, because I feel everybody has preferences and everybody has limits and things that they'll go for, things they won't go for. You might date a woman who got one kid, but you won't date a woman who got 2 kids. All I can say as far as her, I feel she's gonna forever be alone. Stuff that she says, I feel she's doing that simply to get a reaction and please a certain crowd of YouTubers. Somebody told me she has a son by somebody they would call a Pookie or a Ray Ray. You trying to shame everybody else when your own errors and dirty laundry's floating in the air.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I was just like, this short little excerpt from this video was enough to just be like, wow, there's actually still more.
His self-hatred is set up as such that he will take anything as long as it is not black. Because he does not like or value his blackness, he seeks to wash it out rather than replicate it. And this is one of the reasons I say black women and black men are not compatible among many, because you really aren't compatible. They're chasing whiteness. You want to replicate your blackness. You want all these black babies that they're abandoning. You want a provider and a protector. They want to be kept nothing ass bitches who nest under the skirt of women. So you're just not compatible with these bandits. And their love of whiteness is one thing that you don't have in common, because everyone knows that black women are the ones who have the black pride in the community. And quite frankly, if it wasn't for black women's obsession with black men, the black community would not have any more black people within it, because black men act as though it is their mission to erase every bit of blackness that could possibly be passed down through their lineage. So again, you're just not compatible.
Just think about the video that we watched the other day with the black man who said that he pretty much hates being black.
You know, it's so much that can be said, but the thing is, she wants to talk that black men are trying to, I guess, wipe out their own community, like by wiping out their own blackness, as she said. And I find it interesting that she's saying that, but she's telling women not to mess with black people, or black men specifically. And there was also another video of hers a while ago where she was telling women to abort all black male babies. So it's like, so you're telling women not to marry black men, and you're telling them to abort all black male babies, but yet at the same time you're preaching that black men want to get rid of their blackness, and that's why they're going for other races. And I'm just like, aren't you preaching the same thing? Aren't you telling women to do the same thing that you're preaching that black men are doing?
If you want to say that black men don't respect their black women, well, what can be said about what you say? And you have a black male son. So you're pretty much, I mean, if her son was to actually hear some of this and internalize what she says about black men, and he realized, he looked in the mirror one day like, wow, well, I'm a black man, am I like that? And it's like, obviously he has a chance to not be like that. I don't know him, so I can't say for sure, but you know, just to lump all, you know, black men into this category, and you know, just, it's just insane. Like, it comes off like a coon or like a self-hater or something.
You know what, I would say this, if they're, and she probably does have a lot of subscribers, and you know what, for those people who are subscribed to her that hang on her word, you guys seriously have issues. But you're taking your bad experience that you experienced due to your own poor choices and trying to place the blame on a entire race of men when it's your own choices. First of all, let's be honest, if black men are leaving, like running away, as you say, then the person who's raising those children are you. So if those children are growing up to be Pookies, Ray Rays, hiding under skirts, like you said, or trying to live off people, who is the one who encouraged that behavior? Children are impressionable. They are impressionable. You are going to put a child on their path. In the Bible, it says, what is it? Bring up a child in the way they should go, and when they are old, they will not depart from it.
She said that it wouldn't even be any pro-black if it wasn't for black women, and yet here she is putting out black male hate videos.
You know what? You got burnt by whoever it was that you got burnt. And you know what? I almost want to know if your dad was in the picture. Maybe he wasn't. But the fact is, I mean, you're supposed to learn from your past. It's things that happened to me in my past concerning my old man. What can I say? I learned from it, and I chose the things I liked about my parents and how they raised me. And I've taken those things, and the things that I did not like are the things that I'm doing away with.
And you're right. That's all you really can do. You take the meat, you leave the bones, you know, like I always say. I just was shocked, you know, again, because it's like her speech about the black male has just gotten worse and worse and worse. And it's like so crazy that a channel like hers can even exist. You know what I'm saying? And people like Tommy Sotomayor get completely banned from YouTube. And then people like her can thrive and gain subscribers. And, you know, maybe she's not cursing as much or something, but she's pretty much spouting hateful.
Hatred, right.
Like, you're pretty much saying black men are the worst of the worst. they're not good mates, they don't make good fathers, they choose white women as if that's a bad thing. And it's like, you just sound like a hater, and like you're jealous that, you know, people may have preferences now. And it's not just black men that are going overseas and choosing other races of women. It's like a lot of guys in general, and it has more to do with like the modern woman behavior.
It has to do with the very attitude that you are displaying for not only your audience, but for every male to see. Most men, regardless of what you think about them, they will look at your attitude, the words you're saying, and they would choose to avoid you. And it's not because you're black, it's because of your attitude.
And it's like, ugh, it makes her completely unattractive. Like, she could be all dialed up to the T, and I don't think anyone would notice.
YouTube is cutting her a check, and she got a lot of mindless lackeys, because I hate to say it, a lot of women like to follow rather than sitting back looking at things rationally.
And some of y'all are just flat out insecure. Like, to even talk about the fact that there's a white woman on the Cynthia G show as if it's a problem. Like, if her preference is black men, like, what's it to you? You're just calling it out because what, you feel like she shouldn't be able to do that? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie, I have called out a lot of the people on Cynthia G's show. She doesn't have the highest class of people all the time. Now, have I seen every episode? No. But the ones that I've seen and actually talked about on my channel, they've been some doozies. I am a firm believer in equality to the fullest extent. That means male or female, y'all can get it. Alright guys, as you can see, we've got our hands full of the fussy baby, so we are going to sign off. Thank you for watching. Please leave your comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we will see you next time.